What up, guys? It's Lil'Big New Yorker here, and I'm here to bring you your New York sports update. Not just my favorite teams, but all of them. Well, today will be baseball and football. I know I said we'll do my updates on Saturdays, but today is different. Um, I have a funeral this Saturday, and this is the only time I'm available to do this. So let's start out with baseball. Alright, so let's look at the Yankees and Mets. They both have similar records. The Yankees technically have a better record. They're 72 and 65, but the Mets are 73 and 66. The Yankees have a 526 winning percentage, and Mets have a 525 winning percentage. It doesn't really matter. Let's look at this. The Yankees are 4.5 games out of the division. They just won 2 straight games against the Blue Jays, which was absolutely huge, which probably got them even closer. But the Orioles are still winning, so they're still at 3.5 games out of the wild card. So look at the Mets. The Mets are 8.5 games out of the division. That's almost guaranteed that the Nationals will win the division, but they are only 1 game out of the wild card spot. So the question is, who has the better shot at making the playoffs? I'm going to explain what I think, and you are more than welcome to comment on who do you think has the better shot at making the playoffs, Yankees or Mets. Here's what I think. The Mets have a lot of injuries. They got all these guys, especially probably the best pitching staff in the MLB, which they still do, and they also re-signed Cespedes, which is huge. They signed Walker, all these guys, and also they are the defending National League champs, and there's a chance they don't make the playoffs. So they really want to get in, but injuries will affect them. Just remember, they are 1 game out of the wild card. So, and remember that the Marlins are pretty much out of it. They do not have a 500 record anymore, mainly because of Stanton is very likely to be out for the year, which is huge. And the Pirates are losing. Well, they're 5.5 games, so I would say the Mets are the only team that are competing for that number 5 spot with the Cardinals. But the Cardinals don't always look great on paper, but they always know how to find a way to get into the playoffs. My prediction is the Mets. Even as a Yankee fan, I predict that the Mets have a better shot. But let's look at the Yankees side of things. The Yankees had a very, very, very rough start. They didn't really do much in the offseason, which they didn't really need to. They're just waiting to get all the caps, the outer cap space higher, like getting rid of A-Rod's contract, Sheriff's contract, Spethy's contract. So they just grabbed players, like they made smart trades, which was important, like Castro, Chapman, who they got him good prospects. They also had Hicks, who's starting to hit now, but is probably not gonna come back, and Yates, who's coming back and forth to AAA and MLB. So for the if you're making the Yankees cases, they played just the division. They only played 1 series against the Dodgers, and that's it for them playing. Everyone else is just divisional rivals, which is huge because the Yankees had a very rough start, and now they had all these young guys coming up. And the best part was the Yankees, when they traded away Miller, Chapman, Beltran, they were like, all right, let's not worry about the season anymore. But now they're like, oh my gosh, all these guys are looking good. Like Sanchez is hot, and all the other guys are starting to get going. So now they're starting to get going, and they're going higher up, which is huge. And now you got these young guys are helping them win, and they're getting more experience. And then in the future, they're going to be a very good team. And now they're a very fun team to watch now. Even though that I say the Mets have a better shot, I still think you can still make a valid argument of how the Yankees have a better shot at making the playoffs than the Mets. And also, Also, the Yankees have the toughest schedule. Like I said, they just play divisional rivals. So the players to watch for the Yankees is all I would say is all the baby bombers, because there are some like Gary Sanchez, Aaron Judge who look really really good, and not only will they be good this year, they have them for a very long time, and the Yankees can always be in the question for arguably the American League pennant very very soon, and they're on the right track to sign Harper in 2018. And for the Mets, the players to watch is the pitching staff. They have the best pitching staff in the MLB. And that's pretty much it. And that's it for baseball. Now it's on to football. So football, my favorite sport to watch, but baseball, I also love watching that too. But now let's go to football. So if you don't know this, at 8:30 tomorrow night is the first game of the 2016 season. It is a rematch of last year's Super Bowl, the Broncos and the Panthers at 8:30 on NBC. But now let's go to New York sports. Let's go to my favorite team, the New York Giants. They play in Dallas at 4:25 on Fox. Check your local listings. So let's have an off-season overview. The Giants did something that they never usually do. They went out and signed all these players, which they usually never do. They wait in the draft. I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but that's not what they usually do. And free agency never guarantees you anything. But with the signing of Olivier Vernon, Damon Harrison, Keenan Robinson, that will help that defense out, and Jonas Jenkins, that will help that defense out. It's not going to be like top 10. I don't think it may not even be in the top 15, but that will make that defense better. One thing to look forward to is the offense. Now that McAdoo is the head coach, he has full say on what to do with the Giants. So he is ready to go. And that Giants is going to be a very fast, exciting offense. And I'm going to predict that they'll be into the top 5. So my prediction is that they will win Week 1, mainly because Dak Prescott is starting, and he has not really much experience, but he also looks very good, and also makes me very nervous. But still, I'm gonna say the Giants will win Week 1. I'm not saying they go 16-0 like some of you guys think I do, but I predict that they will start out with the 2016 for the first time since 2010, 1-0. Now let's go to the Jets. The Jets play at against the Cincinnati Bengals on CBS at 1 o'clock. So, off-season overview, it was a huge relief that they re-signed Ryan Fitzpatrick, because Hankenberg's not ready, Petty's not ready, Smith is not that great of a quarterback. I don't know why they keep going for quarterbacks, but still, it's a huge relief that they re-signed Fitzpatrick, and they look like they could make the playoffs and arguably win the division, depending on how Belichick and Garoppolo do in the first 4 games, which I don't think will be a problem, but we'll see what happens. I predict for the Week 1, I predict that the Jets will also start out 1-0 against the Bengals. Now let's go to the Bills. The Bills are in a tough division now. Don't forget that they play at Baltimore at 1 o'clock on CBS. You can list local listings. The Bills are in a rough spot. The Bills are in a division with the Patriots, who are the Patriots, with Belichick and Brady. The Jets, who look like they're going to be a playoff team, and now they're like, we have to get like a 5 or 6, or we have to get better, because they're in a division with 2 other teams that look like they can win the division, and they're in a tough conference where there's all these younger and teams that look like they're ready to rock and roll. So it's going to be tough for them this year, and especially the Dolphins, which we're not going to talk about them. They're Miami, far away. And it was a relief that they re-signed, not really, but I won't say relief, but they signed Taylor to an extension, so I believe that they believe strongly that Taylor is their quarterback. So my prediction is, unfortunately, they will start out 0-1 in the start of the season. The Ravens will beat the Bills week 1. So you're more than welcome to comment on who's going to win each game, but please keep them appropriate. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, I'll see you next Saturday. For another New York sports update. This is Lil'Big, New York, out.